Wow, look, I've finally arrived. I'm branded.
Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog for Monday, March the 28th, 2022. And it is vlog number 258, and it is the 748th day of COVID. And I hope everybody's been having a good past week, and I hope you have a good week coming up. I have a very busy week coming up because this is retreat week. And you've heard me talk on several occasions about the retreat, the in-person quilting retreat that Walter and I are going to, and that is starting this Thursday. So we'll be off Thursday morning to the retreat site, which is about a little over an hour or so from our house. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's the first time we've been to an in-person retreat since before COVID. And yes, we are still taking precautions here and everything. Things have lightened up a little bit in our province, but nevertheless, as far as Walter and I are concerned, we're still, playing it safe. So, well, we're not spring chickens anymore, so we don't want to get anything. And that's actually one of the topics I'm going to talk a little bit about later today. But right now, let's take a look at my current projects. So, since Easter is coming up, I have created this table runner. Now, I'm having my sister and her family here for dinner on Easter Sunday, and I believe that's April the 17th, so not that far away, only a few weeks, couple of weeks. And I always like to set a nice table, and at least I think I set a nice table. So one of the things I like is a nice table runner, and I saw this design. I think it's a Juju design online. So I downloaded it. It's a In the Hoop applique, and I think it turned out pretty good. Now, I am not, how do I put this gently? I used to be a Presbyterian, so I guess I was sort of born into and raised as a Christian. But really, my heart wasn't in it for that, and I left the church, quite a few years ago now, like probably about almost 20 years ago. So I'm no longer consider myself a Christian affiliate. That's my term. I consider myself a born-again agnostic. There's a bit of humor in there, but I do believe in spirituality. Let me put it that way. I just don't believe in organized religions. And don't get me on that topic, because that's not where I want to go right now. But this did have a lot of religious symbolism in it, as you can see, the white lilies, the peace doves, and of course the cross. But it also had some words that you could embroider onto it. Savior, he has risen. And yes, that's why there's Easter. It's a Christian event and the whole thing. But I just didn't feel that for me, it was appropriate to have those words on this table runner. But I like the design of the table runner, so I just removed the words, added in a couple of other embellishments, and here's the final product. Now, I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's toes when I say what I have just said about my beliefs in religion. I have nothing against anybody who follows a certain religion, just as long as it doesn't affect negatively other people's lives. And again, I don't want to get into that discussion. So here it is. I think it's going to look really nice on the table, and I'm very proud of how it turned out. I love doing In the Hoop applique, as you know, and so, yeah, this is one thing that appealed to me. I've also started a new quilt. Now, I have the retreat, of course, I said is coming up, and I have my kits together for about 3 different quilts, but the other day I got looking at my fabric stash, and I've got a lot of charm packs, which are 5-inch squares, and I thought I should do something with them. Well, this is what I'm working on. Now, this is not a completed idea yet. I'm making these large blocks all out of half square triangles, using up these charm packs, and I decided to vary it between a sawtooth star and a windmill design. Now, I have no idea where this design is going to go. I have some ideas in the back of my head for this. It's one of those kind of little improv projects which will grow over time. And I'll be sure is the word I want. I will be sure to show you the final result of all of this, or some of the in progress steps of this, when I get to those. So let's go back to me. There I am. And let's talk about the YouTube channel of the week. This one was suggested to me by one of my viewers who knows that I enjoy things about royalty, the monarchy, and stuff like that. And this one's a really interesting site. Now, before I show you my little review of this, I have to say this. I have not explored this extensively, this particular YouTube channel. So I'm basing what I tell you upon my initial impressions of it. And I intend to, when I get a moment, to watch a few more of the videos in the series, because what I have seen really piqued my interest. So here's my review of the Royal Butler. This week's YouTube channel is called the Royal Butler, and this is sort of on the theme of what I showed last week, which was a lifestyle type of video. Well, this is a lifestyle video presented by someone who used to be a butler in the household of the Queen. And he talks about some of the inside things that took place while he was in their service, which are all very interesting. So if we look at his video list, and we can see the kinds of things that he has. The perfect cup of royal coffee, sunglass etiquette, napkin etiquette, the Queen. He has a few things more here than just about the royal family, but there's quite a few. The Queen's secret message. Ooh, that sounds intriguing. I have to admit, I have not actually studied this very far, but there are a lot of videos that I do want to check out. Ladies and gentlemen, kissing etiquette, breakfast etiquette. Most of these surround the royal family and members of the royal family as well, or people acquainted with them. This was recommended by one of my subscribers as well, and I do have a great interest in the royalty, so this is something I want to delve into much more deeply. If we go to the playlist section, we can see how this is organized, and what we have is At Home with the Royal Butler, In Conversation with the Royal Butler, Travels with the Royal Butler, Royalty, Quarantine Etiquette, Madame Tussauds, Royal Recipes, Royal Butler's Life Hacks. There's a lot of things here that sound very, very intriguing, and I hope they're just not clickbait. But I think this is a really interesting site, especially if you're into British royalty or nobility and how they do things, and get some inside scoops about, the royal family. So that is the Royal Butler. So you will find a link for the Royal Butler in the show notes below. You'll find a link for Stephen and Walter Live. We had a lot of conversation on Stephen and Walter Live on a variety of subjects and things. And I did realize while we were doing Stephen and Walter Live that we do tend to lean a little bit towards quilting and sewing and that kind of thing. And I try to break a little bit away from that, because Stephen and Walter Live is supposed to be about all kinds of things, what's happening in the news, what's been going on in our lives, things that people have asked us, and stuff like that. So I don't want to make it into solely something about sewing and quilting, because that would become redundant, because I have the Idiot Quilter vlog. So Chatty as well. But we did talk a fair amount about that topic. But we did talk about other things, and we had a lot of new people on Stephen and Walter Live this past week, and that's great. The more the merrier. And I just in general, because of that interview I did with Kate Jackson from The Last Homely House a few weeks ago, I have gotten a whole ream of new subscribers, which is thrilling me. I love it. It's great. And many of those people joined us for Stephen and Walter Live, and I hope they will continue to join us, each week. The more the merrier. You'll also find a link for the Idiot Quilter Presents Musings. I didn't have an interview, so I just rattled on about money. I know I talk about things that I have acquired and whatnot, and I'm sure many of you think I'm loaded. I am not. I'm just careful with my money, although you wouldn't think I was, the way I spend it. But no, I'm not rich, not even close. But anyways, I talk about that in that episode. And there's episode 159 of the Idiot Quilter. We give you an update about the costumes we're creating for our little entertainment section of the retreat we're going to this week. And we talk about other projects and things as well. Or I talk about other projects and things as well. And of course, on So Chatty, we get into our plans for this retreat in a little bit more detail. We talk about, all the stuff that we take and why we take it. So if you've ever been to a retreat, or if you haven't been to a retreat before, an in-person one, you might find this quite interesting. Okay, so what's happening outside my window today? Well, let's take a look at what the weather's like. Last week was a fairly mild week, so a lot of our snow was gone. Well, all of it was gone pretty much. But as you can see this morning at 7:55 a.m., we have traces of snow. That hit us yesterday. It's just a dusting. Probably before noon today, it'll be pretty much gone. The current, well, maybe not, because I'm looking at my watch, and the current temperature right now at a little after 8 o'clock in the morning is minus 11 degrees Celsius. So it's frosty out there. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, well, aren't we into spring? Shouldn't the birds be singing, the trees budding, flowers popping up their little heads, and shouldn't it be warm, and we should be wearing our shorts and going out for a jog? No, this is Canada. So March and into April, we could still have snow. We're not done with winter yet, unfortunately. Any day now, and this happens all the time, we could have a huge dump of snow, and it's going to look like January again. We're hoping not, but it is Canada. That's how we roll here. So anyways, today looks like it might be a nice sunny day, but it looks like it's going to be cold as well. So yeah, so that's what's outside my window today. So that takes me to what's pissing me off this week. And this topic is generated by a comment that someone made on So Chatty this past week. And I don't want to offend anybody by certain expressions that we use in our society for people. And this is what this person took an issue with. Now, you do know, because I've mentioned this in previous episodes, that I do have the power of the delete key. I refuse to allow my channel to be ambushed by a disgruntled person out there. And there seems to be a lot of disgruntled people out there these days. And I like to refer to them as trolls, because they're usually people who prowl YouTube or Facebook or all the social media, and they never have a nice thing to say. And everything seems to offend them. Well, I say two things to that. One, if you write a negative comment on my YouTube channel, if it is not constructive criticism, in my opinion, and it's my channel, so it's my opinion that works with it, I hit the delete key. I have the power of the delete key. Also, if there is something that you feel you need to be negative about, well, don't. Keep it to yourself. Nobody cares. Okay? If it's constructive, however, if it's a suggestion for how I can improve the channel or whatever, I welcome those kind of comments. I read them all. I don't necessarily respond to all comments, but I do read them all, and I take them seriously. If they've been presented to me in a reasonable manner as constructive criticism, I think about them, and I have often made adjustments or changes based on that. So that's okay. But just belligerent comments that, get over yourself kind of comments, okay? And here's one of them. So Walter and I did So Chatty in the past week, and I'm sure some of you have seen that one. And someone had sent us a picture of what they considered to be ugly fabric, because I had done a previous episode about ugly fabric. And it was sort of a caricature of a bunch of ladies. I think they were supposed to be at a quilting bee. Um, they were all older ladies in it. They were cartoonish. Well, very cartoonish, actually. And I used the expression somewhere along in our conversation. I called them little old biddies. Well, somebody took offense to that and said that I had a moral objection to little old biddies, and she happened to be one, and she found that comment very offensive. Now, my first reaction to that is, well, I could have called them something else. I said, well, I'm sorry if you're little old biddy and you're a bitch. I didn't. I figured I wasn't going to feed into that comment because I thought about it and went, no, come on, get over yourself. Little old biddy is an expression that's been around for as long as there's been little old biddies, really. I was not directing that comment at anybody in particular. I was directing it towards the fabric. And I could have also said other things because it was not a flattering picture of ladies to start with. They were all old, they were all fat, they all wore glasses, they all look haggard. So really, if you've got a bone to pick it with the person who designed the fabric. I think the person who designed the fabric was trying to just be funny. So, we take things too seriously, don't we? Oftentimes. And we take them too personally. So I deleted that person's comment. And if that means this person will stop subscribing to me, I don't care. Don't need them. Yeah. So, yeah, little old biddy. But you want to know something? I've been called many things in my life or put into a group like that, like grumpy old man. I don't take offense to that. In fact, I'm very proud of the fact that I'm wearing a badge here that says grumpy old man. Walter and I both. In fact, I told people for years before I retired that when I retired, that was my goal, to become a grumpy old man. Why? Because people expect that from old men. And, we've spent our whole life being politically correct. I certainly had been. And, I'm the kind of person, I do have a filter. I don't use it often. Okay, I should probably use it a little bit more. But I have a tendency to say things that get me into trouble. So I figured, hey, as a grumpy old man, I could get away with more of these because people would just look at me and go, yeah, don't take him seriously as a grumpy old man. Okay, works for me. But I don't take offense to that. I don't take offense to people when people make comments about my age. And that's really what I think was getting this person, was the fact that little old biddies refers to old ladies. Well, okay. My mother used to say to me, Stephen, you never want to grow old. And my answer to my mother was, what's the alternative, mother? And what I mean by that is we can't go backwards in time. And why dwell upon our youth? It is gone. But there's something to be very proud of when you get to this age, when you become older, because you've lived a lot of life, haven't you? And I am sure you've learned a lot of things about life. They often say that wisdom is wasted on the young. Yeah, because they don't have life experiences to, learn from and grow from. It's unfortunate, I guess, that we don't learn those things until we are much older. But as such, we should be respected in terms of our life experience because we have things to share. And I wear my gray hair with pride because I've earned that. This represents the things I have gone through in my life and what I have learned through my life. I've learned not to take myself so seriously. I've learned to not take things completely personal. It don't always work out that way for me. It depends on my mood because I am a moody person. I know that. But that's the other thing. I know who I am. I know what I'm like. Are there things about myself I don't like? Yes. We all have that. But I don't put up a defense when somebody calls me out on something. You got to learn to work with it. And you got to learn how to look at the source it's coming from, like this one that made the comment feeling offended by little old Biddy. Well, get over yourself. It's meant to be somewhat humorous, and it wasn't directed at this person as an individual. So, she said she was a little old Biddy. Well, be proud of that. That's what I'm saying. Be proud of your age. We've come a long way, baby. Enjoy the reverence that you should receive. Now, not everybody looks at age that way, especially younger people. I mean, I remember when I was in my 20s, when somebody turned 40, they were old. Now I look at it, when someone's turning 40 and go, you're just a kid. Your perspective changes over the years, doesn't it? And I would like to think that I'm a different person at almost 65 than I was at 40. That I know more. That I understand how things work a little better. That, I have a little bit more patience most of the time. Not always. So I guess what this little old bitty comment made me think about was the fact that in our society, we do not value age. It's all about youth. And yes, we all know that. You just have to watch television or read a book or look in a magazine, see advertising on internet, and everything is geared towards a younger society. But really, I've still got a lot of life to live here, and I'm looking forward to every day of it. And so the old me, the younger me, who saw this negative comment that I deleted, would have taken it to heart, would have gotten really upset about it, would have thought it was a personal affront. It's not. It's just some disgruntled old biddy who, well, I feel sad for her because basically her comment is really a reflection of how she looks at life. If she can be offended by something as general as that comment out there, then she has not learned anything from aging. So, yeah, I think we should wear our age with pride because we've seen a lot, we've learned a lot, we've gone through a lot, and we're still standing. And I think that's important. So, yes, I too am a little old biddy, a grumpy old man, and I'm very proud of that. Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about product reviews. Well, the bits and pieces that I've ordered from Apple are coming in at a steady stream. Of course, my two main products, the new iPad and the new computer, have not arrived yet, and they're not due to arrive for about another 3 weeks or so, which is just fine. What I'm afraid of is I just saw today that there was a charge from Apple that came through that was a large amount of money, and I'm thinking that might be my iPad, and I don't want that delivered this week because I won't be here. And when Apple sends you something, usually you have to sign for it. So I'm a little worried about that. I tried to go into the Apple store, into my account, and I can't. It keeps coming up with an error saying, yeah, there's a problem, call a number. I may have to call that number today, later on, and check on that order because I don't want it arriving when I'm not here. Can you say porch pirates? We've never had a problem, knock wood, cross my fingers, and everything else is crossable yet. But this would be the time, right? And these are expensive items. So I don't want that. So we'll see. Apple is a good company to deal with when it comes to ordering things. They're fairly efficient, but in other ways too, they're not such a good company because they do keep things as a mystery as well, which I don't appreciate. But that's Apple's philosophy on everything. I mean, if there's something going wrong with your computer that is at their end of the line, they will never admit that they had made a mistake, that there was a problem. They go into radio silence, and that is something I do not respect with a company like Apple. But obviously they don't listen to human beings at all. They do their own thing. But anyways, I'm hoping that I don't want it this week, okay? Next week's great, not this week. Too much on. Not going to be here. Okay, so what else? Oh, I have merch. Well, sort of merch. You know, a lot of YouTube channel people have stores and they sell branded products. You know, their branding kind of a thing with their logo and everything on it. I do have a logo that I created some time ago, but I've always wanted to have it at least printed on a coffee mug. Like, for example, this is, get this angle in it. This is one of my merch items. Now, I call it merch, but I'm not selling it. I do not have the facility to be able to sell things like this. And but I just thought I'd show you what I ordered and what I got. So here's all my merch. So I bought 4 coffee mugs with my logo on it. I bought a couple of tote bags with my logo on it. And I bought 10 pens with my logo on it. And these are just for me. Well, I ordered 4 coffee mugs. I gave 1 to Walter, and I ordered the 2 tote bags, and I gave 1 to Walter. And I intend to be toting these with me to the retreat. They're just fun. They're just for me. They're just an indulgence. They're not particularly cheap when you buy them in the small quantities, because this comes from a company called Vista Print. I've ordered things from Vista Print over the years before, mostly business cards. They always run specials. You get 500 business cards for like $9.99 Canadian or something like that, and free shipping. But they've branched out over the years, and now they make all kinds of branded items. So you can get water bottles with the logo on it, mouse pads, all kinds of things. But they were having a sale, 40% off your entire order. So I thought I'd take advantage of it, because I'm going to be honest. Right now, I've been spending money, and that's because of my inheritance, and I'm enjoying it. I'm about to slow down on that because I want to, do other things with my inheritance, and I have already with it, but I'm having some fun, okay? And this goes back to what I said about age, not going to be here forever, might as well enjoy it now, kind of a thing. So, as I said, I ordered 4 coffee mugs. They're kind of pricey when you order them individually. The price goes down on all these things as you order more quantity of them, because of course that's how that kind of thing works. So if I was to open up a little merch store or something like that and ordered a lot of this stuff, it would be cheaper. But as it is, 4 mugs cost me about $41. If I'd bought 1 mug only, it would have been almost $20 for 1 mug. So I got a little bit of a deal there by ordering a few more. Tote bags were pretty good. They were about $10 a piece. And they're canvas, and they're heavy, and they're well put together. And the pens were about $1.79. They were on sale. So that's why I got 10 of those. So the pens were cheap, and they're okay. They're, when I first tried one, it didn't write all that well, but I got the ink flowing, and then it was fine after that. So I have these things. Now, you may be asking, am I ever going to put those up so you can buy some merch from me? Probably not. And here's the reason why. 1, then it becomes a business, and I don't have time for a business. 2, I need a way to accept payments, and that means setting up a business account online of some sort. And no, I'm not doing that. And 3, you probably wouldn't buy it anyway. So, no. So I just show it to you. It's just for me. It's just fun. That's all it is. And I'm all about fun, right? So, I have that. Okay, so that takes me to the 3D corner and what I've been making. Well, I've been making a lot of things, and because Easter is coming up, and I already showed you my table runner, I have things for my table as well. So these are all 3D printed, and they're just cute. They're just fun. You know me and my 3D printer. It's a toy for a big boy, as I've always said. So you see my little bunnies with the cups in front of them, the little basket. Well, there's going to be one of those at each table setting, and they're going to be filled with little colorful chocolate Easter eggs. You see the big bunny, which is the same as the little guys but much bigger. I'm making another one as we speak, and he's going to be filled with candy as well. And he and the big purple bunny, the 2 cup bunnies and the big purple bunny are going to be part of my center piece of my table, along with the other two little bunnies that are there and the eggs. And I've printed them all in nice bright colors, and use some of my rainbow filament as well on some of them, and it's just for fun. And the idea too is everybody, my sister and my brother-in-law and the kids, they're going to get to take home their bunny with candy in it, when they leave. So yeah, just fun. And speaking of fun, now you'll think this is retarded. Oh, sorry, politically incorrect. You will think this is stupid. Whatever. It doesn't matter what I say. I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't, right? This is my gnome and Buddha bust collection. I was talking about the Buddha bust last week. These are all the craze now in the 3D printing world. People are taking the body of Buddha and sticking the head of famous characters onto the top of them. So you can see I've got Indiana Jones, Groot, Baby Yoda, there's all kinds. Frankenstein, the Swedish chef from the Muppet Show, Charlie Chaplin, an alien, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Beethoven. There's a bunch up there. So I've been printing those out. I'm stopping now because it was becoming an obsession and I'm running out of wall space. And I also printed more of those hexagon shelves that I really like to mount them on. So they sit there in my sewing room, and you will notice them in behind me when I switch the camera back onto me as well. So they're just fun. So now I need to find something else to print. And I'm trying to think what, practical prints, as they call it, that I can do. What do I need? I don't need a lot. So I don't know. But I'll probably later today scour Thingiverse, that's where I get all my models, and see what the latest craze is there. Actually, I know one latest craze. People are making things with Putin's head on them, derogatory, which are good, because Putin deserves to be, he deserves to be hit with negativism because of what he's doing to the Ukraine people. And so a lot of people I've seen his head put on a pile of poop, the emoji kind of thing, printed out in 3D. But I'm not going to start printing those because, why? But then I suppose printing out Buddha busts is a why too. Anyways, we'll see. I'll let you know. So that takes me to another Blast from the Past trip, and this is my continuation on our trip to Australia in 2018, and this is Melbourne Day 6. We spent a lot of time in Melbourne on that second trip that we did to Australia. And
this is the South Bank looking at the North Bank. See, we're staying over on that side. We just had lunch on this side, down along there. So we can keep going down there?
Yeah.
You think so? Okay, so we're on our way to the Botanical Garden. So this is where we are right now, Alexander Gardens. I guess they're a botanical garden of sorts. And we might get rained on, we might not. Well, we will see. Okay, according to Walter, this is not the Botanical Gardens. This leads to the Botanical Gardens. This is Alexander Park, said, so. But look, there's botanicals. There's a flower. There's flowers. There's trees. It's a park.
Lots of parks in Melbourne.
That's for sure. Lots and lots of parks. All integrated into the city, too, as well. Yeah, our country could take a lesson from this. Especially Toronto. Don't come to Toronto for the greenery. You won't see any. Well, right now there's no greenery, but look, a box of wine. A natural item. It grows here. Naturally. It's amazing what you'll find in the park. Look in the bushes a little further. Who knows what you might find. Don't see any possums. Of course, they only come out at night. And you're not allowed to feed them. I think possums can become somewhat vicious as well. Okay, so there's all these kind of birds around here. This one's a friendly one. He doesn't seem to be too worried about me. We're now in the Royal Botanical Gardens, and here's some of the flora. Little cacti, succulents. And of course it's uphill. More cacti. Very green, except for that one. Some kind of pavilion thing over here. And have you figured out where we're going now? I don't know where we're going. No idea.
Brand new old border, West Virginia. Sounds good to me.
Okay, we'll go that way. We don't know what that is over there. Could be the visitor center. I don't know. There's a map down here. See what the map says. Very lush. So here's a map. And you are here. Okay. Well, this doesn't help me much. Garden houses. All right. I have no idea where we are from that. Rose Pavilion. Okay, we must be.
There's more signs going on.
Okay, maybe they'll be more helpful. Here's a little better view of what this is, and this is supposedly, I think you can go up there and you get guided tours if you want a guided tour of the gardens. Pretty little place. And now we're at something called the National Herbarium. Herbarium. I don't know if you can go in there or what the story is. It's over here, I think. And this is what it is. You can't, I don't know.
I think you can.
No. They're just keeping.
Keep their seeds.
And this is the visitor center right around here. Walking by. Now, about 14 months ago, we were here. That was our first time to Australia, and we got off the cruise ship for about 3 hours, and this is one of the places they took us, and this is their war memorial, the Shrine of Remembrance. So if you've seen some of my older videos, you have seen this before, but we're here again, so you can take another shot, and of course, it has a great view of the city from up on top, but I'm too tired to go up there today, and been there before, so not going to do it again. But we have a different perspective of where we were last time here, now that we came up through the botanical gardens and that. And of course, with our whole week here in Melbourne and exploring it on foot, we kind of have a better sense of what the city's all about and where this is actually situated in the city. And it is quite impressive, this building. As we make our way back to the hotel, we'll come down from the War Memorial Shrine and along this path system or park system they have here. Of course, they have fountains and statues and all kinds of things. So it's all right in the center of the city. Make it look very nice. And if you don't believe me, well, it's just a floral clock with packaging on it? Oh, what?
Some woman sitting in front.
Oh, yeah, well, there always is.
There's a special rainbow window.
Yeah, right. Yeah, very pretty. And just another view of the city. Okay, so we're standing down here at a place where we're supposed to be meeting Joanne. And of course, makes a lot of sense. Neither one of them seem to be very clear as to which end of this large entertainment complex we should be standing at. So Walter is texting her now to see where we're supposed to meet up. Yeah, well coordinated. Not.
So that takes me to what's coming up this week. Well, the big event, of course, is the retreat, and we talked all about that yesterday. And so I'm not going to dwell on it. We're getting things ready. We're getting our stuff, done, what we need to take with us and the whole bit. And I am excited. I mean, people. Yes, I'm going to see people. Haven't done that in a while, and it's just going to be fun. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. And as I said, we leave for that on Thursday and come back Sunday. Now, that brings up, will there be a So Chatty and a Stephen and Walter Live? There will not be a So Chatty this week because we won't be here to make it. Now, we are toying with an idea, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the internet connection is like at this place, whether we could actually do an on-location live So Chatty. It's an idea. I don't know. We'll see about that. Or we might just do So Chatty from on location there as well, which won't be live. It'll be recorded. Maybe. Don't know about that. We are planning to do a Stephen and Walter Live on this coming Sunday, as we usually do, because we leave a little bit after lunch from this place. It's over at that time, and we should be home in plenty of time to be able to do Stephen and Walter Live. And if we do one, doo-doo one, doo-doo. It will be all about the retreat. We're going to share the pictures. I'm planning to take a lot of pictures and a lot of video. So we will share that on Stephen and Walter and talk about our experiences, because there will be experiences and things will happen with all of that. And of course, we will have video, hopefully, we should have, of, our kissing cousins, Matilda Mudslinger and Gladass Happy Bum, who are making their appearance as well there. So, yeah, we're planning to do that. So stay tuned. Okay, and something else is coming up, advance notice. We're about to move into April. So first Wednesday of the month is always Craft and Chat, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, running until about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that will fall on April the 6th. Link is in the show notes below. And I will be sending out at the first of next week, probably I guess I may have to send it out a little sooner because of the retreat. Because, yeah, that's coming up next week, right? Yeah. Oh my God. How time flies when you're having fun. So actually, I better send it out this week. For those of you that are on the official mailing list for Craft and Chat, I will send out the link directly to you. For anybody else, you're all welcome to join. The link will be in the show notes below. Okay, and other things that are coming up, the weekend after this weekend coming of the retreat, I have another retreat to go to, but it's a virtual one, and it's with the group that I belong to called the Quilter's Way, Energize 5.0. I was thinking to myself, it's 5.0. We've had 5 of those since I joined. I guess we have. Again, how time flies. So I'm looking forward to that. That's always fun as well. And yeah, so that's what's coming up. And events in the past week, not much. I was on a men's sew day for a Facebook group I belong to called the Men Quilters, something like that. It's the first time I've ever done a sew day with them, and that was fun. It was a lot of fun. And sorry, no, it's men only on this group. Maybe that's why it was so much fun. Never mind. But yeah, it was fun. And I got a lot of stuff done. And yeah, there were some really funny guys on there. I mean, humorous. Kept us in stitches. Pun intended. But anyways, so that's kind of fun. And I think they're going to try and do one twice a month on Sundays. So that'd be great. If that works out that way, I will definitely attend another one. No problem. Except the next one's probably scheduled during the Energize retreat I'm going to too. I wonder if it's possible to set up 2 Zoom links on 2 different computers. Might have to look into that. Okay. So yeah, I think that's it for me for now. And lots of things to do yet this week in preparation for the retreat. And yeah, it's going to be a busy week, but busy in a good way. So I hope you have a good week. I hope everything is working out for you fine. And I hope your weather is a little bit warmer wherever you are than it is here. Spring has sprung, sort of. So we'll see you next week. Bye for now.